lecture number 11, and today I'm going to take this off. It's been too carefully. Hopefully I don't get any virus from here. Lecture number 11, and today's contents, as you can see, armature reaction types over here, then how this is going to affect the motor and the generator. Then we are going to also see the details of effects of the armature reaction. We are also going to see the remedy of this armature reaction, and in the end it's going to be commutation in LDI by dt effect. This LDI by dt effect is the very same effect which you have seen across an inductor, since the winding is actually an inductor, so you are going to see it. Now before I proceed on to a winding diagram, the diagram of a cross-sectional view of a motor and all that stuff, what is actually armature reaction? It's very simply a reaction between two fields or two magnetic fields. The reaction between two magnetic fields is called as armature reaction. And this concept not only takes place in a DC machine, it also takes place inside an AC machine, maybe these fans or even ceiling fans or any other AC fans over there, AC machines or AC motors I'm talking. Even in generators, even in motors, this armature reaction takes place, and it's a detrimental thing, which means that it is going to hinder the running of your machine, and it is going to have a negative impact on your torque or your speed or whatever characteristic which we are just going to see today. Now, assuming that you have all gone through lecture number 9A at least, which is actually the lap winding. So today I am going to start over here for the armature reaction. When I have talked about two magnetic fields, the two magnetic fields I am talking about is actually the main magnetic field which we call as phi F, and the second magnetic field which we will call as phi A. This phi A is the magnetic field which is created because of the armature current or rotor current which is actually flowing inside the rotor of your machine. And this is the main field winding. This is the flux which is being created, which you require actually for the operation of your machine. So this is that field. Now technically they both will occur and there is going to be certainly some load attached. Supposingly I am talking about a generator. So when there is going to be a generator attached, if supposingly that is working at no load, then phi A is actually not existing because it's open circuit. Or even if it is connected in form of a shunt generator, the current is just going to be like, if you're talking about the lab equipment, it's just going to be 150 or 200 milliamperes of current. So technically when generator mode is working, only phi F would be there, but phi A is not going to be there. So what is the end result of this one? That armature reaction will not take place over there. Why? Because as I told you, armature reaction is the reaction between two magnetic fields which gives rise to a resultant magnetic field which hinders the actual rotation or the EMF or whatever of that motor or generator. Now, अभी मैंने नो लोड की बात किया. This is actually a no load condition. Okay? Now if you have a generator and you increase the load on that condition, which means that now your machine is loaded, field winding is already there, now armature or rotor MMF is also there, so now armature reaction is going to be taking place, and as this load will increase, your armature or rotor MMF will increase, the armature reaction will also increase. Now, the last case which is very important is this, that if you have a motor and this is working at no load condition. Now, no load condition, if you have seen the machines in your lab, you are taking a no load current in the armature of approximately 0.8, 0.9 ampere. The machines are rated at approximately 3.5 ampere as we discussed in the last lecture also. So 0.8, 0.9 is not that much current which can actually create a significant impact on the armature. So I am going to assume that when a motor is working at no load, and there is a rotor current, this doesn't mean that phi A is not there. So this is very small as compared to when it is going to be at load. So armature reaction is still there, but it is negligible in quantity. Why? Because phi A, that is actually the armature MMF, is going to be very, very small. And I just missed, I don't have space over here. In fact, let me, if I just move this all over here, maybe have some space. And if I have a motor at full load condition or load condition, certainly this time as the load will increase, armature reaction will also increase over there. So there are many questions asked, and maybe in your viva or whatever, in your lab, or maybe in a short question inside your papers or midterm finals, that armature reaction takes place when. So this table is actually going to tell you that if a generator is unloaded, then it's practically not existent. And if a motor, the no load current is significantly small, then you can say that the armature reaction is going to be just negligible over there. But if the motor is at full load condition, then you are going to have a lot amount of armature reaction. Now what is this armature reaction and physically how it takes place? For this purpose, I have taken the same diagram which we have seen in your lecture number 8 or lecture number 9. 9 actually was winding over there. This was from lecture number 8. Now here I have done one change over there, that the number of slots inside this armature, since this is a cross-sectional view, I have increased it from 16 to 20. Now in practical machines, this is not even 20, this may go on to up till 40 or 50 slots even also. Because if you're talking about a more big machine, more torque, you require more conductors or more slots over there. So what I am showing over here in this diagram, as you can see very clearly over there, I am talking about a motor phenomena. And these are the feed lines which are flowing from the north pole to the south pole over there. So I have shown these ones as radially. And I hope you remember it, that I showed you that they are perpendicular to all the conductors which are in front of your north and south pole over there. So they are entering perpendicularly and then leaving perpendicularly. Now, so this north and south pole can be created because of a magnet, or they can be created because of an electromagnet. So this over here, this line over here, which I have shown over here in this direction, this is my phi f over here. This is the main field. Now, practically it is flowing over here in this direction. But if when I want to give a normal direction over there, that direction is just this direction, which is telling it that this is actually going from this left side towards the right side. So this is my phi f. Now, when this is a motor, and I am assuming this motor is rotating in the clockwise direction, and I have to use the Fleming's left hand rule. So when I have the Fleming's left hand rule, my left hand over there, this is my B over there, this is my force F exerted on the conductor. So you can see this figure is coming out over here. So this is dot over there. So in front of all the north pole conductors over here, I have a dot. And in front of all the conductors which are in front of the south pole, there is a cross over there. Now these conductors over here, these three ones, which will be certainly in practical machine much large in quantity, because I just told you that number of slots are going to be very much large. And similarly these three conductors, they are not having any cross and dot. Why? Because here the value, or the V vector and the B vector, they both are parallel or anti-parallel if you are talking this condition. This is your V, this is your B over there. So E is equal to V cross V dot L, whatever that function, that comes out to be 0. So the induced EMF in these conductors over here, these three and these three in this diagram, is 0. Now these diagrams, or this one, this block is the carbon brush, which is actually going to take all the windings current, because all these 20 slots winding, they are in series or parallel combination, either a lap winding or a wave winding or whatever condition may be. So these carbon brushes are actually the entry and the exit point of your current through this machine. Now, when the machine is rotating at supposedly no load, this IA current is flowing through all the windings and it is leaving through the lower carbon brush over here. But as the load on the machine will increase, as I told you, this IA current will increase. When this IA current will increase, what will happen? This cross all over here, their magnitude will increase, and similarly these dots over here, their magnitude will also increase. So this whole cross and dot arrangement over here is going to be something like this over here. So if you are having a solenoid over there, this dotted, so this shaded line over here, this is actually just like working as a solenoid, and these cross and dots are actually working as a solenoid, producing a magnetic field in this direction, which will be called as phi A. Just like this right hand rule. This right hand rule, you use it with thumb points out the direction of the flux, and this one is direction current. So here is a cross and a dot, so this means that your thumb is pointing out upward. So you have a flux being produced over here, which is going to be called as phi A. So now over here, in this diagram, what I have shown over here, this flux over here is equal to phi F. This flux over here is equal to phi A. Now, these two fluxes if they are of reasonable quantity, and certainly they will be of reasonable quantity when the machine is working at load. When the machine will be working at no load condition, this phi a will be very small. So our condition would be something like this, that if I have this phi f over here like this, let me draw a vector over there, and if I zoom this one, phi a if at no load will be very, very small, so it will be something like this. So the resultant of these two will be this vector, which I am going to call as phi r. So what is this happening? Your actual magnetic field, instead of flowing in a straight line, now it will be a little angled apart like this. Because now there are two fields. You have now two magnets over there. Now practically you only wanted phi f. But what is happening now? You are having phi a, which is very small in quantity at no load. So you can see the shift in the magnetic field lines is going to be something over here. So this shift is going to take place. Now this shift will increase when your phi a current is going to increase supposingly. So if I have now more phi a, let me use another color. So if I have more phi a now, that the machine increases its armature current, the machine is now loaded. So now what happens, your phi r is now going to be, this is going to be phi r dash, and now this angle of tilt is now theta dash, previously it was theta. So now you can see what will happen this time when the increase in load current is there. Now previously it was a slight shift, now your magnetic field will flow like this because of phi a. So now your magnetic field is going to flow like this. Now when this shift or tilt is happening, before I go on in deep into this one, now if you see very closely in this diagram, I have marked two axes over there. What are those axes over there? One axis I have marked is this with cyan color over there, which I have called as the magnetic axis, which I have called as MA, magnetic axis over there. And this is the same direction as phi f over there. And I have marked this green color line over there, and I have called this one as magnetic neutral axis. Now what does the word neutral here mean? Now if you see very closely, as I told you in the last diagram, that these three conductors, or maybe a more bunch of conductors in practical machine, they will be having no cross and dot. Why no cross and dot? Because the magnetic field direction B and the V direction, they both are parallel here or anti-parallel. So in these three conductors, there is no EMF. So this line is actually passing through these three conductors. So we use the word magnetic neutral axis. So these three conductors are neutral over there. They're not having a cross, they're not having a dot over there. So this magnetic neutral axis is this line over here. Magnetic axis is this line. And here in abbreviation we call it as the MNA, not the MNA of our legislative assembly. Again? बिल्कुल नहीं होगा. हाँ, all windings are in series. ठीक है, इंड्यूस नहीं हो रहा उनमें अंदर करंट, लेकिन सारी वाइंडिंग सीरीज में है. हम लेक्चर नंबर 9A 9B में देख चुके हैं इस चीज़ को कि सारी की सारी वाइंडिंग्स दे आर इन सीरीज और पैरेलल कॉम्बिनेशन. सो करंट तो फ्लो करना है, उसमें इंड्यूस नहीं हो रहा. उस कॉइल के अंदर करंट नहीं है, इंड्यूस EMF इंड्यूस नहीं हो रहा, लेकिन उसमें से करंट फ्लो कर रहा है, वो आपका कनेक्शन हो रहा है उसके अंदर. सो दिस मैग्नेटिक न्यूट्रल एक्सिस एंड दिस मैग्नेटिक एक्सिस आर गोइंग टू बी नाउ द बेसिस. सो नाउ व्हाट आई हैव ओवर देयर, आई हैव अ phi f over here in this direction. I have a phi a now in this direction over there. So now these two phi f and phi a, they are now going to give rise to this over here. I have a phi f over here, I have a phi a over here. These two are now going to interact and give rise to my resultant phi r. Now this blue color vector phi r, as compared to this one, certainly this theta is more as compared to this theta over here. So certainly you can call this one as the no load condition and a motor is working, and you can take this one as the full load condition or a little higher condition. So now what is going to happen, your practical circuit is something like this over here. Now I have shown those magnetic field lines. What has happened now, these pink color lines are the actual practical magnetic field lines flowing over here like this. And I told you this will happen. Why? Because phi r is now tilted. Now when phi r is tilted, now see this very carefully, when phi r is tilted, these three conductors which were having empty, they were empty at that time. Now since magnetic field direction is like this, so these three conductors over here, these now will be empty as shown over here in this second conductor shown over here. Why? Because now B direction for this conductor is like this. V direction, this is V, this is B. So now the same condition which was happening for these three conductors is now happening for these three conductors now. So over here you can see over here, if I zoom this one, these crosses and these dots, the outer circles over there, they are before the armature reaction, and these circles over here, these conductors over here like this, I have made those crosses and dots so that you can see how the rearrangement is going to take place. Why this is happening? Because your magnetic field line, we wanted this to flow as phi f, but now this is flowing like this. This is phi f nu over here. And this is also telling you that previously magnetic axis was like this. Magnetic axis has now shifted to this one. So this is called as new magnetic axis. Now because of this new magnetic axis, the magnetic neutral axis has also shifted. Previously, these three conductors were the magnetic neutral axis or MNA. Now these three conductors are the new MNA over there, because at that time these three are having neutral. So you can see very clearly over here that these three conductors are empty. Now these three are empty since they are all in series of windings or whatever, but the problem here arises over there. These three conductors are now having a cross over there. Why? Because the magnetic field has changed its orientation. Now these three are going to be short circuited by the carbon brush over there, because the carbon brush size is very large. So what will happen? It will short one or two or maybe three commutator segments, and if your M is equal to 1 or M even equal to 2, your coils are going to be short circuited. So what is going to happen? If you have a coil over here, supposingly you have a coil in between like this, so this carbon brush is going to short circuit this coil, and whenever there is going to be a short circuit, there is going to be sparking taking place, because you are not taking that energy out of the machine. You are short circuiting these three conductors because of the size of the carbon brush, and you will have to increase the size of the carbon brush. Why? Because if the machine is large and you have more current to feed in, आपकी lab की machine, your lab machines are very small, they are the 3.5 ampere. In practical machine, the current may be like 15, 20, 25 ampere. So the size of the carbon brush has to increase, because jitna bada hoga, then the more current can actually flow. Now when carbon brush size is more, it is short circuiting the three conductors. Now why this is happening? Previously it was empty, but because of armature reaction, now these three are actually being short circuited. So now when this is being short circuited, the overall EMF of this machine is decreasing. Now this is a motor. I am feeding energy to it, but there is a back EMF of this machine. You are all familiar with this, EA. That EA is decreasing now. So back EMF of your machine is decreasing, and practically your three conductors here, they are also not contributing any torque to the total over there. Why? Because they are effectively short circuited. When they are short circuited, there is actually no energy being produced over there. There is nothing happening over there. So this is one problem of the armature reaction, that this shift in the magnetic axis and the new magnetic neutral axis, these three conductors are now empty, and these three are now having a cross. And similar thing is happening over here on the second carbon brush over there. You can see these three were empty previously. Now when this has moved, these three are now having a dot. So these dots are being short circuited over here. These three are being short circuited over here. So now these carbon brushes are short circuiting, effectively producing sparking. That sparking is going to produce a lot of heat, and it's also going to have sparking because the commutator segment is made up of copper. So when that copper is going to be ignited by flashovers or sparks, it will have holes created on its surface. Now what is happening practically, I don't know, have that machine with me at present. If I have it, yes, I have it, I guess. Okay, so when this over here is the commutator over there, I have this commutator over here. So when carbon brushes are constantly sliding on this one, and this is rotating. So what is happening? If there is a sparking taking place here and here, so what will happen? This commutator segment is made up of copper. Heat is generated, sparking is taking place. This surface of copper has to be as smooth as possible, because carbon brush has to reside on it. It has to supply current and take current. So when there are going to be holes created, the effective contact between the carbon brush and this one is going to be decreased. So after some time, not maybe like 5 hours or 6 hours, maybe like something 7 or 8 days, or maybe depending upon the use of that motor, the pitting of commutator segments is going to take place. Pitting means holes are being created. Those holes are being created because of the sparking taking place. A lot of high temperatures are being created over there. Now this is one problem. Sparking taking place, pittings of commutator segment is taking place. जी बेटा. हाँ, अभी आते हैं उसके ऊपर. अब ये phi a की डायरेक्शन अब चेंज हो रही है. Now what you are seeing over here, that when cross and dots, they are having a change in direction. So what will happen now, if you redraw this diagram over here, so now practically your phi f is flowing like this over here, and now your phi a, let me use another color, and now your phi a is like this, and the resultant is now getting even more tilted. But there is a limit over here to the tilting. Why? If you see closely this diagram has an air gap only in this position over here and this position over here. And air is a very bad conductor of magnetic field. ऐसा ज़रूर हो सकता है कि magnetic field ऐसे करके यूं जाए and goes over here. But it is never possible that it goes over here and then goes like this over there, because here there is a lot of air gap over there. So it will still remain inside this. This is the maximum angle I am showing over there. So there is a limitation from the magnetic field side also, that your magnetic field lines, they will be concised in this area. So all the magnetic field lines, they will be flowing over here from this portion to this portion. But in this area over here, this one and this one, less magnetic field lines will be there. Why? Because you have a magnetic neutral axis now shifted over there. So your argument is valid that, come on, sorry. So your argument is valid over here that this shifting will take place over here, and this shifting is going to make the resultant over here more shifted, but a point will come then the flux cannot travel through air. So this is the maximum point I have shown you over here, that this is the flux lines traveling over there. So armature reaction has created two problems up till now. One is this, that your magnetic axis has changed. Because of this, there is a redistribution of charges, and the redistribution of charges has made short circuiting at the carbon brush. Now इसकी एक remedy हो सकती है. You shift the carbon brush, which I have shown over here by a green color. Now this shifting is good, it can avoid the sparking, it can do everything, but it will not solve the problem permanently, because if the load changes on the machine, this angle theta, which is the shift over there, will be variable. When the load on the machine is small, this theta will be small. When load on the machine will be large, phi a would be large, so this theta angle will be variable. Now, if your machine is working in some paper industry or some cotton industry, and it is working at a constant load, एक ही type का load है, उसका load current constant है, then you can apply the shifting of carbon brushes. Then it is workable. But this problem is not solvable by shifting of carbon brushes. Why? Because this angle theta, which is the shift angle over here, is going to be variable because of the load current IA being variable. And now this is the case of a motor. Now you see very carefully, in a motor, you have a clockwise rotation of the machine. Now, if this machine was moving in anti-clockwise, CCW. Now, when this was CCW, let me show you another diagram over here. This will be the shift. What is happening now? The shift is opposite. पहले क्या हुआ था? It shifted on the opposite side. Now this is shifting. So the machine is rotating in this side, but shifting has taken place in the opposite direction. But in the clockwise direction, this was moving in this direction, so this was moving in the opposite. So in motor phenomena, when the machine is rotating in clockwise, the shifting takes place in the counterclockwise. When the machine is rotating counterclockwise, the shifting takes place in this. So now if you want to run a machine, supposedly sometimes you want to run it in the clockwise, आपको carbon brushes को shift करके उधर करना पड़ेगा. When you want to rotate it back, you will have to rotate it back. So there has to be, in 1900s and the first 10 to 15 years, this shifting of carbon brushes had a permanent diploma engineer on every machine standing over there, which was controlling this. कि जी हाँ जी load बढ़ गया, he was moving those carbon brushes, because carbon brushes, they are stationary. So they were constantly changing this angle theta. If the machine was rotating in clockwise, supposingly आप कपड़ा बुन रहे हैं, ठीक है जी, your machine is first of all supposingly in the clockwise, आप yarn अपना बना रहे हैं, उसके बाद now you want to actually use that yarn to make some cloth over there. Now that yarn, machine has to move with the anti-clockwise now, because the spindle has to give the cotton now, or the wire over there, whatever. So the direction of rotation will change. So there was a constant person standing over there which was changing this angle theta or in this direction over there depending upon the rotation. Now this is the motor phenomena in which this problem is taking place. Now we have spotted up till now two problems. One is this, that there is a sparking, there is a pitting of commutator segments, and the third problem is the most severe. Now what is happening over here? If you see very closely over here, all the magnetic field lines are now concised in the upper area over here and the lower area over here. So what is happening over here? This area and this area, it has a lot of flux, but this area and this area, there is a very less flux over there. So what has happened? The overall flux homogeneous is lost. Previously what was happening, previously what was happening, the field lines were homogeneous. Now they are concentrated in this region and in this region, and this area over here and this area, as per that diagram, they are free. So now what is the problem? The problem is solved or actually elaborated by the BH curve. Now you are all familiar with the BH curve, and I told you whenever you have B over here, you can write B equal to flux phi divided by A, as you already know it. And you can change the h-axis because h is on the x-axis. We know h according to Ampere's law is equal to Ni divided by Lc. Now in this term N and Lc, they are constant, because if I am working on one machine, N and Lc are constant. Lc is the mean length, N is the number of turns, they are constant. Similarly over here area is constant. So I can say that this curve is between phi and I. Okay? So now what is happening? My operating point of my machine is this one. My machine was operating at this point. So corresponding to this point, I was having this much of pole MMF. What is pole MMF? The amount of flux being created, or the amount of ampere turns being created by my pole. If it is a permanent magnet, then certainly it is different case. If it's an electromagnet, then there is going to be certain number of N turns and a current I flowing through it. So this is pole MMF. And corresponding to this X over there, there was this flux phi, and it was homogeneous throughout the machine. Now what is happening? Since your flux lines, they are more concerned in this area and in this area is going to have an increase in MMF. This is going to have a decrease in MMF. Similarly, this one is going to have a decrease in MMF. So what will happen? The increase in MMF would be equal to pole MMF plus armature MMF, because armature is producing that MMF. So there is an increase over there. But this increase over here takes this curve on this one. Now you are in the saturation region. When you are in the saturation region, the increase is very small. As I told you, when you go in the saturation region, you put in a lot of current, but your response is very small. You get a very small increase. But on the other side, when there is a decrease in MMF, which means pole MMF minus armature MMF, this decrease you can see is extraordinarily large. So what is happening? What I mean by this distance is very small. Supposedly this is x, this is 2x. So what is happening over here, that if I go back on this diagram, in this area and this area, the MMF is increased by x. But in this area, the MMF or the flux is decreased by 2x. So the net MMF or the net flux of the machine is this, that your overall flux of your machine is decreased. I am again repeating. because of the concentration of the flux lines in this area and this area. As I told you just now, there is an increase of x over there, there is an increase of x. As I told you in this curve over there, that this one was equal to x, this one is certainly equal to 2x. So when you are increasing up, the increase is just x, but when you are decreasing it, it's 2x times. So what happens over there on this diagram, this is an x increase over there, but here there is a 2x decrease over there. So when you are trying to find out the net flux of this machine, the net flux means that this is decreasing. So when the net flux is decreasing over there, what this means, if you have a motor, this is a motor case, so what is going to happen? If I have this torque equation, we just proved it in the last lecture, it was equal to K phi Ia. What is happening? Your flux phi is decreasing. So the torque of your machine will be also decreasing. So your motor phenomena is not just having sparking and all those problems of heating and all that, it's also having an effect on your output parameters also. And that output parameter here is the torque. Because the motor develops what? It develops speed and torque. So here the torque is actually going to be decreased over there. Now this torque decrease is going to be very, very problematic, because you were doing some work, supposedly you were pulling some wire or something else over there, or maybe some needle or whatever. So when the torque is less, your machine is not going to have. So when torque is less, your speed will be changed over there. So you will have a problem of your whole chain of your industry, that when your machine is going to. So this is a very big problem of armature reaction, and less torque means that now you are having more load. More load means that phi A will increase over here more. So more armature reaction means more problem. So this problem will be more aggravated as you continue to leave it. So there has to be some solution to this one, so that you can actually have this machine working without armature reaction. So if I just concise this one, I will come back to this diagram just a little later. So this is the motor counterclockwise, and these are the motor over here. Now if you see very closely over there, motor due to armature reaction, magnetic neutral axis shifts opposite to the direction of rotation. As I just told you in this diagram, this was moving in counterclockwise. The shifting took place in the clockwise direction. And if it was in clockwise, the shifting took place in the counterclockwise. So the rule is this, that when you have a motor, the armature reaction shifts the MNA, that is the magnetic neutral axis, direction of rotation ke opposite. It is opposite to that one. Now for a generator, before I move on further, this is the effects. I will come back to this one again afterwards. For a generator, now I am just going to show the diagram for generator over there. You have to do it for the counterclockwise yourself. Now this is the generator. For generator, I have told you that Fleming's right hand rule has to be done. Same thing, you have a north pole, you have a south pole over there, and you have now in this direction I am moving the generator in clockwise. So this means this is my B, this is my force F on that conductor, this side conductor I am talking about. So this will move in the clockwise direction. So these fingers are going inward of the board. So there is a cross over here in this conductor over there. Now when this cross is there and there is a dot over there in these ones, so what happens? You use your right hand rule. This tells you that phi A is downward, and this is shown over here in this diagram over here. Your phi A is downward, your phi F is in this direction, your resultant becomes like this. So now when the resultant becomes like this is phi R. So now what happens? Now previously what was happening, there was a concentration of magnetic field here. Now there is opposite over here like this. So now in generator phenomena, what is happening, that your magnetic neutral axis, which was shifting opposite to direction of rotation, now it is shifting, So now this is shifting in the direction of rotation by an angle theta. So I hope this is clear. And you can see the redistribution of charges over here, which is taking place over there. I have drawn 3 diagrams. Please kindly draw this diagram of counterclockwise for the generator. Okay? These 4 diagrams can be asked in your exam to actually explain how the armature reaction is going to have a redistribution of charges and how phi r is going to be created. Okay, I have drawn these three diagrams. You can easily draw it for the counterclockwise direction yourself over there. So now what the rule is this? The rule is very simple now, that for motor, the MNA shifts opposite to the direction of rotation. For generator, MNA shifts in the direction of rotation. So now this creates a more problem now. अगर एक machine है आपके पास industry में and you want to run it as a motor first, आपको एक बंदे को खड़ा करना है जी कि जिस डायरेक्शन में वो मूव कर रहा है उसके ऑपोजिट में आपने कार्बन ब्रश मूव करना है. लेकिन थोड़ी देर बाद दैट मशीन नाउ you want to run it as a generator, now the rule is opposite. So this creates a big problem. So shifting of carbon brushes is now obsolete. After 1920s or 1930s, this method of remedy was taken back. Why? Because there was a constant one person standing over there and he had to take in control कि जी इतना current जा रहा है, and he was told okay this was the angle, so you had to shift those carbon brushes over there again and again. So this was a very problem at that time. So now what was the remedy? The remedy over here is this. As you can see, what are the effects? As I told you, the effects are sparking, which are already taking place because of the shorting, pitting of the commutator segment, as I told you, holes are being created, short circuiting of the coils over there, and if it's a generator, you will be getting less EMF over there. Third thing, decrease in the overall net flux per pole, as I told you. So what is happening? If it's a generator, your flux decreases, your EA decreases. And if you are talking about a torque, the motor, your flux decreases, your torque decreases over there. So in motor case, it's problematic. In generator case, it's also problematic. The last problem is the flashover and the damage to the machine. Now the damage is also happening because the commutator segment is being damaged permanently. And plus, if you don't take any remedial measures, what will happen? The magnetic field which is flowing over here, as he told you here, that this armature reaction will get worsen by worsen. So a point will come, then the whole magnetic field will try to flow like this, and the machine will be unable to even move. So when the machine will be unable to move, this means that the whole current is actually flowing inside the machine and the machine is not rotating. So what will happen? The machine will be burned down instantly, because when you are going to put this much flux like this, the machine will be damaged permanently. So there has to be a remedy attached. Now one remedy I just told you is the shifting of carbon brushes, which is obsolete now because for obvious reasons, because it is having an angle change theta over there. The second thing is this, that is also written in your book, is this, that they fix the carbon brushes at the optimal point, which means 2/3 of the load they shifted that theta over there. But when the machine was working at no load, it was going to produce armature reactions there. So it was also not a good remedy. So the remedy which I am going to talk over here is called as the compensating windings. Now this is very important winding over there. This is a very different set of windings which I am going to now introduce, where I am going to introduce them over here on the poles faces. This pole over here, the curved part, I have drilled holes inside it. What I mean by this, I have this one. So these are the pole face. This is the pole face over here. Now this is smooth. This is a very small motor. It's not going to have any armature reaction. Even if it's there, we are going to avoid it. So this pole face, you are going to have holes created lengthwise over there, just shown over here, and you are going to place windings inside these slots. So now what you are doing, you are placing slots over here on the poles, and inside these slots, you are going to put a conductor which is going to take the current IA through it. So what is going to happen? Supposedly, this machine is working in clockwise direction and this is a motor. जी किधर आएंगे? क्रॉस डॉट किधर आएंगे? Anyone? Come on. अभी हमने ऊपर किया है, अभी just 2-3 backs. Use your left hand rule. This is moving in the upward. So on the north side, north pole side, there is going to be a dot. So this is going to be, let me use different color over here. This is dot, 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 dot. I'm not talking about shifting of carbon brushes at present or something. I'm just showing you that how these crosses and dots are going to be there. Now this compensating winding is going to have, so what you are going to do over there, you are going to break this winding. Okay, sorry. So you are going to break this winding over here in between, and you are going to have this winding connected over here like this, and from here this is going to be connected to here, and from here this is going to be connected to here. So in series of your armature, you are going to put this winding in such a direction, listen this carefully, that where there is a cross, there will be a dot, where there is a cross, there will be a dot over there, and here there is a cross over here. Now what is going to happen? You are now going to have no phi A. Previously what was happening, if you use this right hand rule, your phi A was up. So now what is happening? Your phi A is producing over here up, but the winding which is done on the pole face over here, this winding is going to create a flux which we are going to call as phi CW, compensating winding flux, and they both are almost equal to each other. Almost equal to, I'm not saying exactly, almost 80 to 90% equal. So the effect would be that there will be no change in the magnetic axis or magnetic neutral axis. Now the problem over here, this is the best solution of compensating windings over there. How the best solution? Because this compensating winding has to be made on the pole faces. आपको इन pole faces के अंदर grooves बनाने हैं, उन grooves के अंदर winding रखनी है, and you have to cover that winding also. So it's a very difficult and expensive process. So it's only done for larger machines. So when this compensating winding is attached, your circuit diagram becomes something like this over there. I hope you are familiar with this. You are making this one in your lab manuals also. So now you can see this is the shunt motor or shunt generator, whatever you want to talk it. I have taken it as a motor over there. So now you can see what I have added in series with the armature. I have added LCW. It will be having some resistance also, but I am ignoring that one as present. So this LCW is in series with the armature. This is A1, A2, just like you have been using in the lab. This is F1, F2, just like your lab. This is a shunt generator connected together, and you are, shunt motor, because this is a motor, you are supplying power. So what is happening? Your current IA is flowing inside it. The same current is flowing through the compensating winding. So now the value of current which is flowing over here, you disrupted this wire, took that wire inside the pole, did the winding in such a direction that there was a cross here, dot here and cross here. So now this cross and dot, they both are cancelling. So this overall, they cancel, this cancel, this cancel, this cancel, this one cancel. So now the only field remaining is phi F over here. Now you can't even say that only phi F is there. Why? Because this winding is perpendicular to your phi F. So it will have a slight effect over there also. क्योंकि आपके पास what is phi F in this one? It's going from top to bottom. But you are having a wire placed perpendicular to this. So it will have an effect. But the advantage is enormous. Your armature reaction is being stopped by 80 to 90%. So this is an expensive winding that is done on only larger machines so that you can avoid armature reaction inside your motor or your generator. Okay. Any questions with this up till now? I have one more remedy which I will be discussing after the next topic. हाँ जी. किस में compensating winding आ गए? यहाँ पे क्या? Sorry. हाँ. नहीं, अगर एक दफ़ा लोड कांस्टेंट हो गया, यहाँ करंट फर्स्ट करो, दिस वाज इक्वल टू 3 एम्पेयर, तो ये एंगल थीटा इस वक्त कितना है? 30 degrees, 40 degrees. Practical machines have this angle theta limited to 35 to 40 degrees. It can't go beyond that. So this current changes, this angle theta will change. अब current 3 ampere से फर्ज करो 2 ampere हो गया. So this theta angle will reduce. So this is variable. The problem here with armature reaction is this, that this is variable because the value of current inside these conductors, the cross and dot, they are changing. If it's a motor or a generator, the value is changing. The value is changing. Your phi A, this length of this vector is changing. When this angle is changing, this angle theta changes. And this is the same angle theta shown over here. This is the angle of shift over there in the magnetic neutral axis, or you can call it as, this was your magnetic axis previously. Now your magnetic axis is like this. So you can say this is that angle shift over there. Same angle theta on the magnetic axis, magnetic neutral axis over there. अगर लोड कांस्टेंट है, then this angle theta is constant. But armature reaction is still there unless and until you have had any of this remedies applied. One remedy, which is very crude form, is this, that you increase the field current, which means that आपके पास ये vector diagram है, and this vector diagram you have phi f equal to this one. You increase your phi f very much large. So what will happen? The angle of this would be now very small. But your field winding should have the capacity to have that current. This is very important. अगर वो capacity ही नहीं है, then it's not possible. So this is a very crude form. So the best solution is the compensating winding, which I discussed, but is the most expensive one. One more remedy is left, which will be just talked about after this next topic. Now, next topic is the, before I move on forward, this one diagram I left it over there. Come on, yaar. Where it has gone. I guess, let me just move on. Okay. Now, on this diagram, I have taken this one from the book. These diagrams over there, I have just taken this book because the book is also explaining this part. I have a north pole over here. I have a south pole over here. These are again the same conductors with cross and dots, the same configuration, but they have made it a developed diagram. I have made it in a circular one so that it was easy. Now they have shown it as a cross and dot. Now, because of the shape of the pole over there, which is shown over here straight, but practically it is curved, you can see that shape of the pole MMF is like this, as I told you 2-3 lectures back, that the pole MMF is going to be something like this. Now this pole MMF is going to be disturbed by this armature current cross and dots over there. And this cross and dot is going to create a rotor magnetomotive force like this and like this. And why this is having a peak at this point? Because if you see very closely over there, this is a cross, this is a dot. So magnetic field at this point is going to be maximum. Then a little farther it will be a little less. Then a little farther it will be a little less. Then a little farther it will be a little less. Same thing like this, if I just show you on my diagram, which I showed you in the very start, this diagram, here maximum because they are close. Here again a little less, a little less, a little less, and then again increasing and then again larger. So this diagram over here, so this diagram is the rotor MMF, higher goes to 0 at one point and then goes to negative. Similarly from here to here. Now this is your phi A, this is your phi F. Now this is a waveform. मैंने आपको practically on cross sectional view diagram दिखाई है. This is a waveform with respect to time. When the whole revolution is completed one time, this is your phi F and phi A. These both are going to interact and the resultant has to be like this. This one. But what happens? You can see very closely in this region, your has to be like this, but there is a pole saturation taking place according to the BH curve. So it does not increase, it goes only to this value. उसे जाना चाहिए यहाँ तक था, but it is only going up till this value because the saturation at the pole is taking place. The same thing I just told you over here in this diagram, that in this region there is saturation taking place, in this region there is a saturation taking place, in this region there is a decrease, and the decrease is 2x times. Here also 2x times. So practically what is happening over there in this diagram, that you can see here the decrease is enormous, but here the increase has to be this much so that it can compensate this decrease. But it is not increasing. This area is lost because of the saturation. So there is an x increase over there, but there is a 2x decrease over there. So this is the net magnetic field over there, this one like this. And you can see very closely over there that this line should have passed here. But this angle over here is that theta angle shift, which I told you will be equal to 30 to 40 degrees in practical machines when the load is going to be increased over there. This is shown very small over there, but practically this will be something like this. So this is a waveform showing you that because of your phi F and your phi A, the net magnetic field over here takes this form over here like this, and showing you the new neutral point and the old neutral point. The neutral point means the same magnetic neutral axis and the new magnetic neutral axis over there. Now, compensating winding which you have introduced, what it is going to do? Now let me draw this one on this diagram. Compensating winding, when you are going to introduce it, it's going to cancel phi A. The only way phi A can be cancelled is this, that you have it something waveform like this, then it is cancelling. And this phi CW is the same thing shown over here in this diagram. Come on. I don't know why this is having some lag today. So this is that compensating winding flux shown. So this one is that rotor MMF, this one is your compensating winding, they both cancel each other. So the net MMF, there is no change, no neutral shift over there, and your phi F is still the same. But again, this is the expensive solution. Compensating winding are only done on very big machines, because then the cost can be recovered over there. Otherwise, for small machines, in our lab, we don't even have any machine with compensating winding. If you are interested in seeing a compensating winding and the next solution, which I will just tell you afterwards, please go to main block. There is a high voltage lab over there. You may find some Mr. Mansoor over there. He's a lab in charge over there. Just ask him to open some of the old machines lab over there. In fact, it's already open over there. Sometimes it's locked. Just ask him to show you some of the old machines which are placed over there. We have opened those machines and they are placed over there. The whole rotor and stator there is totally kept separate. So you can see over there the compensating winding in the poles embedded over there. That compensating winding in real. Those machines are very, very big. Now those machines, I guess even I have not worked on those machines, but I have run those machines a little bit. So those machines are so big, when they used to start, the whole voltage of UET used to have a dip of 10 to 20 volts. It was so big machine. They were 1 kilowatt to 2 kilowatts of power of machines. Some of the induction machines were even 400 to 1000 volts over there. So वो machines जब भी चलती थी, whenever they used to run, they are very old machines from the back of the time when St. Maclaurin College, the first of the UET initial, that was made by the British at that time. So वो machines वहाँ पे हैं. Some of them we have sold out, some of them we have kept as a prehistoric thing, and some of them are open. So please kindly, if you have time, go there and see that compensating winding, big machines are opened. You can see number of poles also. You can see a lot amount of things on that rotor and the stator over there. Again, sorry?
Old time.
हाँ, old times में. ये machine UET was made in 1934, I guess, 1921, 21 I guess. तो वो 1920s तक obsolete हो चुका था. And these are for study purposes. That was an industrial remedy. हम आप लोगों को remedy नहीं लगाएंगे, so that the effect can be seen. I don't know, you are doing an experiment in the lab, in your 8 experiments are there, which is the calculation of the components of voltage drop inside a generator. ये experiment हो रहा है? हाँ, हो गया. मुझे जिस हर एक ग्रुप sequential wise कर रहा है. That component of voltage drop has an armature reaction. तो हमने कोई remedy नहीं लगाई हुई, इसीलिए वो armature reaction आ रहा है. So if we apply that remedy in those small machines, practically not possible in that small size, but still if we apply it, that armature reaction remedy can be applied and you can easily grow it. Okay, next thing, LDI by dt. I don't have much time, I will be just doing a little fast over there. LDI by dt. Now what is this LDI by dt? As you all know, there is an inductance inside your machine. Your winding is an inductor and you are going to have a lot amount of problem over there. So now this LDI by dt is going to be created inside your machine. Now how this is going to happen? Before I proceed on to this diagram, if I go back on this diagram, or maybe let me take a motor case. Motor case is easy for me. Now, see very carefully. When this machine is rotating with some RPM, supposedly it is moving at 1000 RPM or 800 RPM. Just for example, let's take the book case. He is taking 800 RPM. There are like 20 slots inside this machine, and this 20 slots, there is a motion taking place over there. Oh, sorry. So this one is having a motion taking place. Now when this conductor had to move from this dot to this cross, I'm not talking about the reshifting of cross and dot, I'm talking the old one over there. So this is dot and this is cross. This dot to this cross shifting has to take place in a fraction of a second. So if your speed is 800 revolutions per minute, convert first it into 800 into per second and divide it to find out this is one slot, second slot, third slot, fourth slot. So the time it takes to a dot to be converted into a cross, this is the time taken by the winding to commutate. The word commutation over here means the reversal of current inside your winding. And inside any inductor, you are familiar, you have done CAD and you are not doing CAD too, you are familiar that inductor opposes the change inside it. But since this is a machine, this is a motor, I have a dot over here and a cross over there, the machine is rotating at a very high speed, so this time from here to here is just going to be like something in milliseconds. Okay, you can calculate it yourself. In the book you have given the numbers and all that stuff, you can find it out. So this dot and this cross, time is going to be very small. Now what is the change over here in the current? Supposingly your machine was working at 200 ampere current. Now I'm talking about some very big machine. Now 200 ampere current and all of these windings were in series. I'm talking about A equal to 1. Parallel paths A equal to 1. So when this 200 ampere current were flowing over there, there would be something, a current flowing as a dot in this winding as 200 ampere. And here it will be minus 200 ampere over here. So there is going to be a change in current of 400 amperes in a very small time, which is from 4 slots. Now this time is going to be in millisecond. The change is approximately 400 ampere. So now even if your winding of this is going to be just in microhenry or even nanohenries, your LDI by dt value, this value is going to be, even if your L is approximately equal to something like millihenries or even microhenries or even nanohenries, this di by dt is going to be something in thousands. Why? Because dt, the time in that change is happening is just milliseconds or microseconds. And the current change, as I just told you, is 400 ampere. The same thing is shown over here in this diagram. See this very carefully. What is happening over there? In this diagram, you can see there is a 400 ampere current flowing over there. And here they are showing two parallel paths. I just talked about one parallel path. Here you can see over here 400 ampere coming in, one parallel path going over here, one parallel path going over here. So this is the carbon brush over here. 400 ampere current is flowing in, 200 flows over here, 200 flows over here. So the machine was working in this coil over there. I'm talking about this coil over here, which is having a 200 ampere current flowing over here. And the machine is moving in this direction. And when I'm talking about the machine moving in this direction, this means that this commutator segment is moving towards the left side. So this carbon brush is constant. It's not changing its position. They are static. So when this is going to move to this position, this current of 200 ampere has to come to minus 200 ampere in a very small time, and that time is shown over here as 0.0015 seconds. Something, I guess, 1.5 milliseconds. Very small time. Now practically this shifting has to take place linearly. We all know it should take place linearly, but there is an inductance of the winding. That inductance of the winding is going to create L di by dt voltage. That voltage is not going to allow this current to change from 200 to minus 200. I am taking this negative sign as a sign dimension change, which means previously this winding was having a current in this direction. Now it is having in this direction. So when this conductor moves to this position, the change in current is 400 ampere and it should have followed this same line. But there was an inductance, and because of that inductance there was a high voltage created, and that voltage creates this sparking over here. And this sparking is totally separate from what was happening at armature reaction. So even if your machine does not even have armature reaction, you will have sparking taking place, because there is an LDI by dt effect taking place. And this is the main reason, listen to this very carefully, this is the main reason for a DC machine being obsolete now in favor of an AC machine. DC machine, you won't find any machine with 60 to 70% plus efficiency. AC machines are now available with an efficiency greater than 80% or even 90%. That's why your electric vehicles now, they have a brushless DC. That's a different form of a DC, but in fact an AC machine. We will talk that one also after the midterm. But practically the only reason for our industry or all around the world DC are now obsolete and AC is taking over is just because of this LDI by dt effect. So even if armature reaction is not taking place, this trailing effect, this sparking, which is being created because your conductor is having a shift in its direction of current, this 200 to minus 200 ampere of current change in a very small of time, it has to be ideal like this. But what happens, this one, now when this is happening, this trailing over here is going to create a sparking, and at the very same time this sparking is taking place at the carbon brushes. So this carbon brush is again going to be heated, and carbon brushes, they are also going to be damaged. हाँ जी बेटा, कुछ कह रहे थे आप? AC machine के केस में there are no carbon brushes. DC machine में सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम क्या था? कार्बन ब्रशेस का. उसी की वजह से आपके पास आर्मेचर एक्शन भी आ रहा. हाँ, आर्मेचर एक्शन इनमें खत्म नहीं होगा, वो भी हम डिस्कस करेंगे. I will tell you on that one also. It is still there, but it is not having that much effect like over here in DC machine. LDI by dt effect वहाँ नहीं होगा. Why? Because यहाँ पे आप क्या कर रहे हो? You are having a DC current, constant DC, which goes to negative DC. In AC machines, you are having a sine wave. It will follow a sine wave. DC में आप क्या कर रहे हो? यह constant current. अगर DC constant चलता रहे, कोई issue नहीं होगा. लेकिन क्या कर रहे हो? There has to be a reversal of current so that the motor moves in one uniform direction. वरना अदरवाइज वही कॉइल अगर एक डायरेक्शन ऑफ करंट सेम रहे, पहले वो यू मूव करेगा, फिर वापस आएगा, फिर यू मूव करेगा. वी डिड इट इन द फर्स्ट लैब लेक्चर ओवर देयर. सो फॉर दिस यूनिफॉर्म मोशन ओवर देयर, सो दैट इट मूव्स इन वन कंटिन्यूअस डायरेक्शन, देयर हैज टू बी अ कम्यूटेशन, एंड वी आर डूइंग इट बाय द कम्यूटेटर सेगमेंट और स्प्लिट रिंग्स. आई टोल्ड यू एट दैट टाइम. सो दिस 200 to minus 200 ampere is producing this trail over here, so the sparking is taking place. Now, what is the remedy of this one? ये हो क्यों रहा है? ये हो इसलिए रहा है कि this conductor, when it is going to move towards this position, there is a 200 ampere and this is minus 200 ampere change over there. One point is that हम machine की speed slow कर देते हैं. उससे क्या होगा? This time of transition is going to increase, लेकिन उससे हमारा काम slow हो जाएगा. That is not an effective solution. So other thing, हम current decrease कर देते हैं. That is also not a solution. Why? Because the torque will be affected over there. The only thing is this, that somehow this coil, maybe this coil and this coil, इन चारों coils के अंदर the current is still flowing, लेकिन हम इनका EMF zero कर देते हैं. Somehow, I am talking about, I will just tell you how this is going to be done. These four coils, I am going to make their EMF zero. So जो carbon brushes के पास इनकी sparking हो रही है, that is going to still take place, but reduced form. Why? Because अब ये 200 ampere, it's going to take a lot amount of time to take to minus 200 ampere. So what I am suggesting over here, if you see this diagram now, where is my interpoles? Okay, the word is interpoles. What are interpoles? A subsidiary of poles. हमारे पास दो poles कौन से थे? This was the north and south pole. Problem क्या आ रही है हमारे पास? Armature reaction supposingly हो रहा है हमारी machine के अंदर. Armature reaction की वजह से क्या हो रहा है? These three conductors and these three conductors ये short circuit हो रहे हैं यहाँ पे. और same thing is happening क्योंकि ये carbon brushes यहाँ लगे हुए हैं. LDI by dt की वजह से भी sparking हो रही है यहाँ पे. So अगर हमारे पास armature reaction भी हो रहा है, LDI by dt effect भी हो रहा है, somehow अगर मैं इन तीन conductors के अंदर which are above the carbon brushes, मैं इन तीन के अंदर EMF zero कर दूँ, यानी कि अगर इनमें क्रॉस आ रहा था, मैं यहाँ पे डेलिबरेटली एक डॉट इंड्यूस कर दूं ताकि इनका EMF जीरो हो जाए, तो शॉर्ट सर्किटिंग भी नहीं होगी, आर्मेचर रिएक्शन की वजह से जो प्रॉब्लम आ रही थी वो भी नहीं होगी, और दिस डॉट को इस क्रॉस में होने के लिए टाइम भी ज्यादा लगेगा. आई एम अगेन रिपीटिंग, दीज थ्री आर क्रॉसेस. मैं कुछ ऐसा करूं, आई एम इंट्रोड्यूसिंग दिस पोल ओवर देयर सो दैट देयर इज अ डॉट नाउ इंट्रोड्यूस्ड इनसाइड these three conductors. So these three conductors now have effectively zero. So what is happening? This dot changes to this cross now in more time. उसको अब पहले दो स्लॉट्स थी, अब 5 स्लॉट्स या 4 स्लॉट्स में वो टाइम मिल रहा है, सो dt टाइम बढ़ गया, सो LDI/dt टाइम वोल्टेज कम होंगे, स्पार्किंग कम होगी, नॉट जीरो, कम होगी. हाउ आई एम गोइंग टू डू दिस? मेरे पास यहाँ पे एक नॉर्थ पोल है, एक साउथ पोल है. दिस इज अ मोटर मूविंग इन काउंटर क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन. दी शिफ्टिंग इज इन दी एंटी क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन. वो हो रही है, मैं उसको भी कुछ नहीं किया, ना मैंने कंपनसेटिंग वाइंडिंग लगाया, ना मैंने कुछ लगाया. ओवर हेयर आई इंट्रोड्यूस अ वेरी स्मॉल पोल. दिस पोल इज साउथ. अब साउथ के सामने, वी नो साउथ के सामने देयर इज गोइंग टू बी अ डॉट. सो इस छोटे से पोल की वजह से इन्हीं कंडक्टर्स के अंदर, इफ आई जस्ट जूम इन दिस वन, in the same conductor there is going to be a cross because of the main field and dot because of this interpole. Similarly in this conductor there is going to be a cross and dot because of this. In this same conductor, cross and dot. So cross and dot, they both will cancel each other, and effectively these 3 conductors are going to have zero EMF. ये मैंने poles extra add किए हैं, that's why they are called as interpoles. poles के बीच में interpoles. Now what is this happening? मैंने यहाँ पे एक साउथ पोल लगाया, यहाँ मैंने नॉर्थ पोल लगाया. अगर मैंने यहाँ पे नॉर्थ पोल लगा देता, see this very carefully, अगर मैं यहाँ नॉर्थ पोल लगा देता, so इन क्रॉसेस की इंटेंसिटी बढ़ जाती, क्योंकि क्रॉसेस के क्रॉस आ जाता, मुझे उनको कैंसिल करना था. So I have done north south over here so that there is a dot 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 and these 3 get vanished. So now the time is also more, and this is the south over there. This is the north over here, same thing happened over here on this side. So what is being done by the interpoles? Interpoles are actually doing LDI/dt effect decrease, not effectively zero, decrease. They are increasing the time. जो shift का time है, that is being decreased over there. And secondly, unknowingly, it is also decreasing the sparking and the pitting of armature reaction also. Interpoles, the main purpose is LDI/dt, but it is also doing the armature reaction remedy also of sparking at the carbon brushes. लेकिन armature reaction की वजह से जो फ्लक्स में डिक्रीज है उसको कोई चेंज नहीं आ रहा, सिर्फ स्पार्किंग और फिटिंग के ऊपर फायदा होगा. Nothing else benefit over there. So this interpoles. Now what is this interpole? This interpole in a motor, see this carefully, in a motor the interpoles is of the same polarity from where you are coming. You are coming from a south pole, the interpole will always be of that polarity. Even if you have a clockwise rotation, then this will be north. So for interpoles polarity, there is a statement written in your book, you can go through it, I'm just reading it over here, that the polarity of your pole is going to be from the side from which you are rotating. So if you are coming from the south side, the polarity is going to be like this. If this was a generator, the rule will be opposite. Okay? So just revise it over there. So these are the interpoles over there, and this is a practical machine, still in black and white with interpoles. Now where you can see over there, this is a pole, okay, and these are interpoles over here. You can see very, very small as compared to this region, but very small. So this is 1, 2, in fact they have written over there, this is a 6-pole DC machine. So this is 1, 2, 3, I guess this is 4, 5 and 6. And in between this is one interpole, another one, another one, another one, another one, another one. So same, in between every pole, north and south, there is an interpole. In between that's in between. So you can see there are interpoles. So this is just the stator. But remember, interpoles are of very small size. They are only having the effect on the conductors which are just below the carbon brushes. They are not going to affect all of these, because if they affect all of these, the whole idea is lost. Because आप उसके opposite कर रहे हो, so you are actually going to cancel its effect. So we have only to make these 3 conductors, or this one. These are not just 3 in every machine. Maybe they are like 5, they are 10, depending upon the size of the machine. So these cross and these dot, they will be cancelled. The anti-conductors are going to be there. So interpoles, they work on LDI/dt effect, and as a subsidiary, they also work for the sparking and the pitting of the carbon brushes in case of armature reaction, but they don't reduce the flux problem. Flux problem will still remain there because that is a concentration here and a decrease over here in this flask. Otherwise everything is the same. Any questions, Ji? This is a very, very important lecture. I don't know if you have missed this one, this is going to be detrimental. ये नहीं, this is a permanent magnet also. You can have windings on this one also. It can be an electromagnet. It can be an electromagnet also, like this. It's totally up to you. In this diagram, you can see what is happening. These are the poles. These are the poles. And you can see this is the winding taking. This is the winding. So you are having those windings and it's an electromagnet over there. Permanent magnet are going to lose their magnetism after some time. ये machines आपकी lab की 20-22 साल से चल रही हैं. They are electromagnet. अगर permanent magnet होती हैं तो वो lose कर चुकी. Permanent magnets are only good for your toy cars or something like that. But if you use some good hard permanent magnets which are now coming in the market, then they can be used for your permanent magnet brushless DC. The word is brushless, which means there are no carbon brushes. But that is a type of AC. वो हम कहते ज़रूर उसको हैं कि वो DC है, but you are actually working it as an AC machine, which means that commutation, reversal of current is being done by an electronic circuitry, maybe a transistor or a switch or a MOSFET or something like that. ठीक है, वो हम देखेंगे after the midterm when we switch on towards the AC machines, then we will have a look at that. ठीक है जी. Any questions जी? This is all.